students, in today's lecture, we will implement program related to control statements. So in control statements, we have three types of statements: decision making, loop statements, jump statements. We learn about these statements in our lecture. In today's practical lecture, we will implement program of these statements. So firstly, we will try programs related to decision making. So in decision making, there are two types of statement: if statement and switch statement. So firstly, we will try a program, implement a program related to simple if statement, where only one condition is written after if keyword, and then body of if statement is started. So let us try our first program. So firstly, we will write a comment for our readability. So here we will write a program to find number is even or not using if statement. So program to find even number using if statement. So now we want to take input from the user. Firstly, we will import scanner class. Import java dot util dot scanner. Now we will define a class. So here I'm writing class name even. E must be capital because first letter must be capital. So then body of class will be started, and inside the class we will define our main method: public static void main. So now inside the main function we will write our coding for our task. So now we are using scanner class. So firstly, we will create object of scanner class by writing class name, that is scanner, then our object name, I'm taking it as S, new keyword, then scanner, and here we have to pass parameter system.in. So now we want to display a message to a user, so that user enter an number. Enter, we can say A. So now we declaring our variable in which value will be stored when user press from the keyboard. So s dot next function will be invoked. So now if condition will be written. As we know, any even number if divided by 2, remainder will be 0 or 1. If remainder is 0, it means number is even. If remainder is 1, it means number is odd. So here we are writing a modulus 2 because it return us remainder. So if a remainder equals to 0, it means it will be even. So in the body of if statement, we can display our message, because when this condition will be true, control will enter in this block. So here we can display system.out.println we can write like here number is even, and also if we want to display value that when a user enter 10 and we want to display 10 is even, so firstly write variable, then concatenation is number, because we are moving from string to variable to string. So if a modulus 2, here I'm using double equal, because for equality check we have to use double equal. Single equal equal to is used to assign an value. So now we will save with our class name that is even on desktop. So now we will compile our program. Firstly, we have to go at desktop, so that's why we are writing here cd desktop. And now we will compile our program. If it is compiled successfully, then we can execute it. So now our program is compiled successfully, so we can execute it. For execution, we will use interpreter, that is Java, then our program name. So now it is asked to enter and value. I'm entering here 12. So it is displaying 12 is number. This is because we displaying message like this. So we have to write here, this is even number. So after modification, again we have to compile our program and then interpret. So now I'm entering 12, so it will display 12 is even number. So now what if we add any odd number? For example, I'm entering here 15. It will display nothing. So if we want to display when condition is true, it will display even, and when condition become false, it will display odd number. Then we have to use second if statement, that is if else statement. So if simply execute a block when it is true, otherwise there will be nothing display. So now we will try our next program. This is a simple program related to if statement. Now we are going to try our program with help of if else statement. So import java.scanner util.scanner will be same, because again we want to take input from the user class even. Now we have to change its name, and in main function firstly we create a object of scanner class, then take a input from the user. If condition will be remain same, a modulus 2 equals to 0, when number will be even, this block will be executed. But we have to write else block. When condition become false, then else block will be executed. So in this we have to add else block. So when condition will false, control will enter into else block. So now we want to display number is odd. A is odd number. Firstly, we will save our program as our class name, same as our class name, even.java. So now we will execute it. Firstly, we will compile it. Our program is compiled successfully. So now we can execute it. So firstly, I'm entering here 12. It display 12 is even. So again, we execute it. Now I'm entering odd number 13. So now it is displaying 13 is odd number. When condition is true, if block will be executed. When condition is false, then else block will be executed. So now we implement our next program. If and if else we implement in Java. So now we will implement our next statement. So our next statement is if else if, in which number of conditions will be there. So here we want to display grade to the students as per their marks. So let us implement this program. So firstly, write comment for readability program to display grade to students using if else if. So firstly, we will import scanner class because we want to take marks from the student. Java.util.scanner. So firstly, we will define a class, public class grade. G must be capital. So in the body of the class, firstly, we will write our main function. So now in body of a main function, we will write our code. So firstly, we want to use scanner class. So firstly, we will create object of scanner class. So now we want to take one value from the user. So firstly, we display a message so that user enter marks. Like enter marks. So we want to store our value entered by user into marks. So now I am declaring variable of integer type m. M stands for marks. You can use as per your choice. So now next integer method will be invoked. So now user enter marks, for example 60. So now we want to display grade according to number entered by student. For example, if marks is less than 40, student will be fail. So our first condition can be m greater than or equals to 0 because student can enter negative marks. So negative value cannot be acceptable. So value must be greater than 0 or equals to 0. And because both conditions should be checked, m less than 40. This condition will allow entering of marks 0 to 39. If student enter marks from 0 to 39, student will be fail. So we want to display message fail. So in body of this condition, we can display system dot out dot println. So now again, next condition we have to check, like if student marks between 40 to 60, then grade will be C. So again we have to check another condition. So in if and if else we can check only one condition, but in if else if we can check number of conditions. So second else if, now we can write here our second condition. So here second condition can be marks greater than or equals to 40, because in previous condition marks will be considered till for 39, because 39 is less than 40, and 40 less than 40 condition become false. 40 will not counted into if statement. So now in this condition we consider 40, so that's why equals to is used. So our marks must be greater than or equals to 40, and it must be less than 60. M less than 60. So here we want to display grade C. And if student marks lie between 60 to 80, we want to display grade B. So again a new condition will be written. So now marks should be greater than 60 or equals to 60, but it must be less than 80. So now we want to display grade B. So again, if we want to grade A, to display grade A, then marks must be between 80 to 100. So now we will write marks less than or equals to 100, because if student marks is 100, then grade must be A. So now after writing all conditions, there must be a else part. So in else part, we want to display invalid value, because a student can enter less than 0 or more than 100. That is invalid values. For that we write our else part. So now we will save it, and then we will compile and execute it. So firstly, we will compile our program. It is compiled successfully, so we can execute it. Now we enter marks like 30. It displays as fail. Again, I'm executing it, and now I'm entering marks 45. That is greater than 40 but less than 60. It displays as grade C. So now again we execute it, and now I'm going to enter 75. So it display grade B because our number lies between 60 to 80. So now again I'm entering here 90. It display as grade A. And 100 is also considered into grade A. If we enter 0 marks, then it display as fail. So now try with negative value. For example, user enter -10. It display invalid because marks we want to consider marks between 0 to 100. So if a user enter more than 100 like 110, then it also display as invalid. So now after if else if, there is nested if statement. We can say if inside if. So now we will try a program in with the help of nested if statement. We want to write a program, find greatest among three numbers. Find greatest among three numbers. I'm taking three variable that contain some value and then perform this program. If you want to take input from the user, you can use scanner class and take value of three variables from the user. So firstly, we write public class great. I'm writing name of this class great. G must be capital. Then a main function public static void main. String args. So now I'm here using three variables, declaring three variables, A having value 10, B having value 15, and C having value 20. 12 consider. So firstly, we will check a condition like if statement A greater than B. This is the block of if statement. For example, A is greater than B. Like we have A 20 and B 10. A is greatest. So after now A is greatest than B, but we don't know C is greater than A or not. So again we have to check a condition. But before writing this condition, I am writing else part of this condition. So simply we use a if else condition, if else statement. If A greater than B, and now at the bottom I am writing else part of this else, this if statement. If this condition is true, control enter in this block. But now control have to check is A greater than C or not. So again there is a one condition will be checked, A greater than C. So if this condition will be true, it means A is greatest and it print A. And if this condition is false, then there must be a else part. So I'm writing here else block. So firstly, A greater than B. Now A is greatest than B. So then when it enter into the body, again a condition will be checked. A is greater than C. If this condition is true, it means A is greatest. Like I'm writing here A, then plus is greatest. But if this condition become false, it means A is greatest. So we have to display here A, C is greatest in else part. This is all about outer if statement. But if this condition become false, means B is greatest, then else part will be executed. So now B is greater than A, but we don't know about it that it is greatest than C or not. So again, another condition will be checked into else part, that is B greater than C. If this condition will be true, then we have to display B is greatest, otherwise we have to display C is greatest. So else part for inner if statement is. So here there is a nested if between if part and if between else part. Now we will save our program. And firstly, we will compile our program. So it print as 15 is greatest. If you want to take input from the user, you can use a scanner class. So we know 15 is greatest than among these values. For example, now I'm changing here value 22. Now we know 22 is greatest. Again, I'm saving it. And firstly, we have to compile, because after modification, compilation is compulsory. Firstly, we compile it, then we execute it. So now it is printing 22 is greatest. So after nested if statement, we will implement program of switch statement. So in switch statement, we want to perform a operation choice entered by user. For example, firstly, we display a message like press 1 for addition, press 2 for subtraction, press 3 for multiplication. And when a user enter choice like 1, 2, 3, corresponding their choice, we perform operation. So now we want, firstly, we write comment, perform operation according to user choice. Using switch statement. perform multi-line command. So that's why we have to use multi-line command. So firstly, we will import the scanner class because we want to take input from the user. Then we define our class. We are writing class header, public class, where we want to write for example, class name we writing here operation. So in the class, we will define main method. So now, firstly, we will create object of scanner class. Firstly, we writing here comment perform operation according to user choice using switch statement. Then we want to take input from the user in our program. So that's why we import scanner class in our program. Then a class is defined whose name is oper, stands for operation. You can use another name as per your requirement. Then public static void main, this is our main function. So now in the body of main function, firstly we create object of our scanner class. So now we want to display a message to a user so that user enter values of A and B. So because we want to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication and division as per user choice, so we require two values for addition, for subtraction. So firstly, we will display a message system.out.println like enter A. So now we want to store a value in A. So firstly, we declare a variable and then we assign value s dot next int. You can declare variable A, B, C, H before initialization, and you can also declare and initialize at same time. So this is for one value, that is value of A. So now we want to display, we want to take value of B. So again a message will be printed for B, means enter B, and then user will enter an value and we store it into B variable. So now we want to display user like press 1 equals to addition, like user understand about what to press for which operation. So that's why we again display a message like system.out.println like 1 add 2 subtract. You can also use a different system.out.println as per your convenience, and you can also add in one message multiply and 4 divide. This will be displayed to the user for enter choice. Like he can understand, he or she can understand if he or she want to perform addition, then he or she has to enter 1, for subtraction 2, for multiplication 3. So after displaying message, now we ask the user to enter their choice. System.out.println, enter your choice. So now again user will enter a value. We have to store into a variable. Now I am using ch, that is ch stand for choice. You can also use choice, anything else as per your choice. So now when a user enter choice like 1, 2, 3, 4 as per choice, it will be stored into ch. So now we will write switch and we have to enter an expression. So now we will pass ch. So this is the body of switch statement, in which now we will write our cases. So firstly we write case 1. When case 1 will be executed when a user enter 1, means our user choice must be matched with the case. So user can be enter 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why we will write case 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when the user enter enter 1, we have to perform addition and display result on the screen. System.out.println, like addition is, this plus is for concatenation, means we are moving from string to variables. So now in braces we will write a plus b, and then our brace is closed. And after completion block of any case, we have to write break, because break helps to move transfer out of the switch block by skipping remaining part. So if you write here like without bracket a plus b, it will display value of a and b. And if you want to display addition, then we have to write in bracket. So firstly addition will be performed and then the result will be displayed. So now we want to write, we have to write case 2. So for case 2, we have to perform a subtraction. So in bracket we write a minus b, and message will be printed like subtraction is. Similarly, we write case 3, and for case 3 we will display multiplication. So we display multiplication is. So in bracket we write a multiply b. So now we write case 4. This is for division. So we display message like division is. And here we write a divide b. So if user enter anything else like 5, 6, there must be a default case. So that's why we write now default case. So in switch when we want to else part default case, so we have to use keyword default. So here we want to display like just invalid choice. So now we will save our program and compile it. If our program is compiled successfully, then we can execute it. Otherwise, we have to remove errors. So it is compiled successfully. So now we can execute it. So firstly, we have to enter value for A, then for B. So now there is, it display 1 for addition, 2 for subtraction, enter your choice. For example, I'm entering here 3, it will display me multiplication. So now if we enter any other value like 6, now enter your choice. Now we want to enter our choice like 6, it will print invalid choice. So now we will start loop statements in which we will implement for loop, while loop, do while loop. So firstly, for loop, we will perform addition of first 10 natural numbers. Addition sum of first 10 natural numbers. So firstly, we will define a class. Here we will store our result in sum. So initially sum will be 0. So firstly we declare a variable sum and initialize its value 0. So then for loop will be started. For we started from 1. So here we firstly declare our variable I and then initialize its value 1. So now it will be executed 10 times. We know because we want to add 10 natural numbers, so it will be executed 10 times. So our condition will be I less than or equals to 10. So we want to increment our value. So this is for loop. Firstly, we initialize our value and then we check the condition and then we increment it. So in body of for loop, we want to perform like sum equals to sum plus I. So firstly, we will implement it after saving. So we have to print the result. So if we write system.out.println means we display our message inside the for loop, then every time it displays sum. Like initially sum will be 1. So firstly it display like sum is 1, then sum is 3, sum is 6, sum is 10. So we want our display sum after completion. So we have to write our system.println after for loop block. So after for block, we will write our display message. So if we write inside the function, inside the for loop, then it will be print every time 10 times system.out.println. Firstly, we will try this, and after that I will write this message inside the for block and see the difference between this. Sum is so our sum is 55. It display message only once and after adding 10 numbers. So now let us write this statement inside the I'm just commenting this so that a compiler ignore it. And now we write this statement inside the for loop. So now see the difference when we execute it. We modify our program. So firstly we have to compile it and then we have to execute it. So at every loop it display a message. So that's why we want to display our final output. So that's why we write display message after the for loop. So we will write it outside the for block. So now see what will be happen, what is happened in this program. At initially we have I equals to 1 and I means 1 less than or equals to 10. Condition become true. So our control enter into the body. So sum equals to, now we have sum 0 and this time I value of I will be 1. So 0 plus 1 become 1. This is the time our sum value is 1. So again after performing this operation, control goes at for loop. So now I become 2 because after increment its value is increased. So now again condition will be true. 2 is less than or equals to 10. Condition is true. So now sum equals to sum plus. So now sum have value 1 and our I have value 2. So it become 3. So now sum containing value 3. So now again control goes after completion at for loop. Now value of I is 3. So I less than or equals to 10. Condition is true. So now sum equals to sum plus j. So now our sum is 3 plus 3 because our I value is 3. So after addition it become 6. So now I become 4. Again condition will be checked. It become true because 4 is less than or equals to 10. So again it enter in the body and operation will be performed. So now sum is 6 and 6 plus 4 because value of I is 4 become 10. So now again Control goes at for loop. Now I is 5. Condition again true because 5 is less than equals to 10. So again sum equals to sum plus. Now we have sum equals to 10 plus our I value is 5. That become 15. So now again it goes at for loop. So now our I value is 6. So 6 less than or equals to 10. Condition true. So again sum will be updated. So now value sum has 15 plus I now is 6. That become 21. So now again it goes at for loop. So now J becomes 7 and 7 less than or equals to 10. Condition is true. So now sum equals to sum plus I. Now sum is 21 plus we have I equals to 7. That become 28. So again it goes at for loop. Now I is 8 and 8 less than or equals to 10. Condition become true. So again sum equals to sum plus I. So now we have sum 28 plus 8. It become 36. So again now I equals to 9 and condition will be checked. 9 less than equals to 10. Condition become true. So sum equals to sum plus I. So now sum have value 36 and we have I equals to 9. That become 45. So now I become equals to 10. So condition is checked. 10 less than equals to 10. So now 10 is not less than 10 but equals to 10. So condition become true. So again it enter into the body. Sum equals to sum plus I. So now sum have value 45 and I have value 10. So it become 55. So again it goes at loop. Now I become 11 and condition will be checked. 11 less than or equals to 10. So now condition become false because 11 is not less than 10 or not equals to 10. So loop will be terminated. So when system.out.println will be executed, so now sum is containing 55 and 55 displayed on the screen. So after for loop, now we will implement while loop. So here is again a question like printing first 10 even numbers. We can also perform addition of first 10 numbers. So now we are, our program name is display even numbers. Till 10. So firstly, we will define a class, public class even number. So in class, firstly, we will define a public main method, public static void main. So firstly, we will initialize a variable like I equals to 0. Then we just display a message, so that we use system.out.println, like even numbers. So while loop. So firstly we write condition here. So I must be less than 10. And if you want include 10, then we can use equals to, otherwise it will not include 10. So then body of while loop is started. So here we just print system dot out dot println, and here we want to display value of I, and after displaying value we update it by 2, so that next and even value will be displayed to us. So firstly we will save this program, and then we will execute it. So it is compiled successfully. So now we will execute it. So it display even numbers, like even numbers are 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. It includes the 10 because we use equals to. So in even so in while loop, condition will be checked and then body will be executed. So instead of writing 10, we can use a variable and that value entered by user. You can also use it. So now our next loop is do while loop. So we use do while loop when we want to display our, when we want to execute our block at least once. So here we start writing our program, like display even number. Public class string args So firstly, we want to initialize value of I, like I equals to 12. So again, here firstly we write to do, and in the block of this, we want to display our even numbers. System dot out dot println. So when this block is ended, then condition will be checked while I less than or equals to 10. So now our value is not less than 10, but do while will execute it once, because firstly block will be executed and then condition will be checked. So 12 will be executed and displayed, and after that condition is checked. So firstly, we will execute it. So it is compiled successfully. So now we can execute it. So it display as 12 on the screen. Although this is less than 10. So do while loop execute at least once, although our condition is false. For example, we initialize I equals to 2. So now see then it work like while loop. But if some value is not hold the condition, then also it execute that at least once. So now it give us a correct result like 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But if some value that not satisfied the condition, also executed once in do while, because condition is checked as exit point. So this is all about today class. In next class, we will implement program related to classes and objects.